When I was 19 I married a man that I had only met 9 months prior, and today we celebrate our 15th wedding anniversary. What is your proudest I beat the odds moment? Started living together a week after we met, married after 1 year, celebrating our 37th anniversary tomorrow. Life is good. Had a date on a Friday night. Didn't leave his apartment till Sunday. Bo chicka wow wow. Had a key to his place by Wednesday. Started moving in on Friday. We've been together 12 years. It just felt right. My proudest beat the odds moment, when I threw something at the fan. It went up through the blades and down through them without touching any blades. And it was awesome : crap just missed the fan. Not me, but my parents. My mom was 18 and my father was 19. My mother's father just died, and my mother became pregnant with my brother. My father, being the greatest man I know, stepped up to the plate, married my mother and worked about 70 hours a week to support his family. People said that they would only last 2 years tops. This was in 1980. 32 years later they are still the happiest couple I have ever seen. Read this ad: your mother was having a child with her brother. I'm sorry. My wife became pregnant when we had only known each other for 9 months. We were 17 and 18. Both of our families wanted us to abort. We just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary and our oldest son just turned 21. Our youngest of the two will turn 17 in January. Wife and I are still very much in love. I suffer from a disease called spinal muscular atrophy, type 2. And when I was born in 1994 it was fairly rare and the docs weren't sure if I'd even learn to speak, let alone live to be a teen. Here I am 18 years later in college and living up life, albeit in a wheelchair. Just keep on rolling. When I was 15, my mom committed suicide while I was in juvie. I dropped out of school after bouncing around from foster home to foster home. I ended up running away at 17. Then I turned 18, got a GED, took the ACT and got into BGSU, where I study astronomy physics. Feels good, man. With all those fancy acronyms, you must be doing well. Good job. My uncle married his wife 2 weeks after they met. They have been together for 25 plus years now. My grandparents got married after 2 weeks. 4 kids and something like 15-20 years later, they were still married when his cancer beat him. Gran never remarried. She did, however, become a raging alcoholic. When I was driving to Las Vegas, there's a stretch of highway with 100 miles between towns. I was crossing it when a deer jumped in front of my car and I swerved to miss it. I lost control and did a donut at 80 miles per hour. I went into the median and came to a stop without even setting off my airbag. All that happened was I knocked the bead off both my driver's side tires and needed to be towed to the nearest town to have them reinflated. So I beat the odds 3 ways. I didn't hit the deer, I wasn't killed in the crash, and it all happened about 100 feet from a river. If the deer had jumped in front of me on the other side, I almost certainly would have went into that river and drowned. TLDR. I won on my trip to Vegas before I even arrived. As a rule of thumb, if you can't avoid an animal safely, just run it over. An insurance claim and a dead deer is much better than killing yourself or some other driver pedestrian. Swerving to avoid animals can kill you. Running them over is usually pretty safe. But, congrats on not dying. I was born to a teenage, age-addicted mother. I was physically abused as a child. I left home at 14. I quit school in the 9th grade. I've been arrested more than a dozen times. I'm a good and loving father and stepfather. I have never spanked my children. I've been clean and sober for 20 years. I'll earn more than $95K this year. I give more than I take from society. And to top it all off, your formatting is excellent. I was very successful in work and in life at a young age. Then one night when I was 25, I went to a party with a girlfriend, opened the wrong bedroom door, and was introduced to C. I had never felt anything like that before, and I liked it. Within 18 months, I had lost my job, my savings, my house, custody of my 3 kids, my reputation in my family, and my self-respect. I gained a criminal record and a heart condition. 3 stints in rehab had failed, and absolutely everyone had given up on me when I had my eureka moment and decided that, for real this time, I was gonna make a comeback. 5 years later, I have a second degree, an even better career, a great husband, 50-50 custody of my kids, a strong relationship with all of my family, and dignity. I was really hoping that you were going to say in the update that you also had new, even better kids than the ones you lost. This is much less serious than a lot of other comments. Good on you guys for beat much harder and more important odds than I did. I was a tone deaf music hater who almost failed music in middle school. I played keyboard at my first open mic 2 nights ago. First date I ever went on was in college. Only girl I've ever dated. Next year, we're going to celebrate our 24th wedding anniversary. My parents emigrated here when I was 1. Not knowing a lick of English, they never went to college. In fact, none of my family has been to college. They came here with $100 in their pocket. They divorced when I was 3. I was abused by my stepdad and stepmom growing up. I was fondled as a kid by a cousin. I had to get a job at age 14 to help pay bills at my mom's. I just graduated with a bachelor's in biology. I am seeking my second in chemistry. I am training to have a job that pays $50K. Not necessarily the greatest in this thread, but I feel great about it. Not necessarily the greatest in this thread, but I feel great about it. And that's what matters. Though actually I think it is pretty great. Well, I don't know if I'm exactly proud of myself for this, but beating non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and not dying. I say that I'm not really proud of myself for beating it because it was really the doctors, my family, and my then girlfriend, now wife, who beat it for me. I was so messed up from it all. Basically all I could do was wipe my own butt, feed myself, and shuffle slowly to a wheelchair if I had to walk more than 10 yards. Yay, you. Everyone else helped, but the guy taking the poison and fighting to take that extra step definitely gets the ticker tape parade. My girlfriend's great-grandfather was in the Air Force. He was stationed or traveling through Croatia when he met a beautiful young lady at a deli. He talked to her and flirted with her. The young lady said she was scared of the war. He decided F this and proposed to the young lady right there and then. She got shipped back to the US and they stayed married for 50+ years. My wife had identical twins. 10,000 to 1 random chance. At 37 weeks. And with no complications like no twin-to-twin transfusion. 2 healthy boys born. 2 years later my wife is pregnant again. At the 11-week scan they detected the heart was growing on the wrong side. Dextrocardiacitis solitis. 10,000 to 1 random chance. At 37 weeks baby girl born, not needing any heart surgery. 9 in 10 chance she would have had to have all her heart plumbing reworked. I feel very lucky with how my kids turned out. My wife and I purchased a house and moved into together 5 months after we started dating. 12 years later the house is almost paid for and our children, step for me, are happy well-adjusted high school kids. A few years ago I got sick and tired of my hometown, my job as a tech support and generally everything around me. I quit my job and sent my CV to web development firms in the city and started to look for apartments. My boss, my family, my friends all thought I lost my mind. And then, the day I left my workplace I found both an amazing apartment and a good job. Frick you odds. On a snowy night I drove down a huge hill on a highway near a 500-acre field with one single, lone tree in it, near the road. Lost control on ice and hit it head on. I mean directly dead center at 60 miles per hour in a tiny car. Lived. Alright, it's snowing and icy and there's only one tree. But I say screw the odds, I'm hitting that dank thing. I once piloted through an asteroid field even though this stuck-up droid told me that the possibility of successfully navigating through it was approximately 3,720 to 1. The man who raped me will be in jail for the next 10 years. Our attorney only asked for 5, but the judge didn't think that was enough for how much he made my family suffer. I can't describe how thankful I am. This world is really a good place to be. Someone buy the judge a drink. I should note that it hasn't been an easy road. We have been through some seriously troubling times in our marriage, but somehow the good always outweighs the bad. And we always find a way through troubled times as a team. Each time we come out the other end of a rough patch, our marriage is stronger than before. He's the best life partner I could ask for. I met my husband in a bar. 1 week later we moved in and I found out his first name when we signed up for a joint checking account. Together 11 years, married for 6. At the Tridge desk at Aura, I have had people come in looking for their child's father who know no more about them than a nickname. After graduating I was told the average period of time between graduation and finding a job was 10 months. I found a job in 6. Suck it, unemployment. 11 years ago I met a woman on the internet via ICQ. I know old school internet chats. We both were just talking, no intent on anything. Met only twice and less than a year later we were married and are both fantastically happy. Married 10 years and still wake up not being able to believe she said yes. I was driving on the highway with my fiance and 3 puppies in the car. The car began to shake uncontrollably. My back tire popped. Just then, we spun in 2 360-degree turns, somehow missing every car on the highway. We were surrounded. After the car finally stopped, facing the wrong way on the highway, my fiance and I sat there with eyes wide. No one, including puppies, were hurt. How did I not hit anyone? My husband and I have been together since we were 15. We just celebrated 20 years. My sister and her husband have been together for 21 years, since they were 16 and 17. My brother and his wife have been together 11 years, since they were 16 and 17. 3 instances of beating the odds in one family. What are the odds of that? Someone spiked your breast milk with commitment. Met a guy online. 12-hour time difference. He in the US and 3 times deployed. Me in Malaysia. Everyone said too risky. I'll have loyalty issues. It won't work out. The whole shebang. 6.5 years of LDR later, we finally married and now living happily together. Never felt so proud. I was born when the condom and birth control pill failed and survived 2 abortions and 1 car accident to be born to a mother addicted to C and a father who was an abusive alcoholic. At 12 years old I was kicked out, and I moved around a lot for 5 years. I graduated high school summa cum laude, got my bachelor's in anthropology, sociology and psychology, and now I'm opening my own business for dog training. I had instances of aborted sudden death at 12, 14, 17 and 22 before being diagnosed with Brugada syndrome. 24 hours after diagnosis I had an ICD, implantable cardioverter defibrillator, implanted. That was over 4 years ago now, but I most certainly beat those odds for now. I'm not to the victory stage yet, but I've been dating a single mom long distance for the last few months, and I don't think I've ever cared so much about someone who's not family. It's tough, but I'm embarrassingly happy. I think she might be embarrassingly happy too. I met my wife, dated about 7 months, forced into a quick marriage because her mother was bat crap crazy, moved to Wyoming on a terrible business deal that went south within months, with that same batshot Tassie mother. Lessons learned, believe me. Had our son about 4 years after we got married. He was diagnosed with a very rare seizure disorder 1/3500. We were told he would die in 3 years if we were lucky. We had him for 5, 1/2. He died a little over 3, 1/2 years ago. In the last 2 years we have been undergoing deep fertility treatments and now it looks like we may not have any natural children of our own. Because of the ordeal with my son we are buried in medical debt. We have been married 12 years and despite all the crap dumped on us we are still deeply in love and would never change any of it. I think you are amazing for making it through life and not just saying frick it and giving up. When I was 14 years old I sold C and owned an illegal firearm near Oakland, CA. Now I am graduating with honors from a 4-year university majoring in a biomedical science. I am considering going to graduate school to obtain a doctorate. Congratulations on your success. You sound amazing. My wife and I met when we were 16 in high school. We had small breakups over the years but made it through college and are coming up on our 7-year anniversary of marriage and almost 13 years together. I always tell her I can't wait till I'm 32 BC, then I'll have spent half my life with her. We also have 2 kids now. Best part is I've never been happier than this moment in my life. It's nice to wake up and it's the best day of your life, outside of work etc. My husband and I have the same situation. We just celebrated 13 years of marriage last month and next month 18 years together. This year he has spent half his life with me. People didn't think we'd last either. My so and I got married at 20, after only 3 months of dating and 4 months of engagement, and we were both each other's first serious relationship. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary. Happy 15th anniversary. I am the statistic that makes yours the minority. I married a girl after 10 months and we only stayed married for 12 days. My mom had me when she was 17. Everyone in my hometown was sure that I would end up just like my mom. Be a teenage mom, never go to college, unstable relationships, etc. Here I am, in the middle of my junior year as a chemistry major in a great school. Booyah. Go back home and flip everybody off with shades on screaming, "Why did you doubt me? Are you not entertained?" When I left my son's father I was told over and over again that I would never make it as a single mom. I have been doing a pretty dang good job of raising him on my own for almost 5 years now. Verified. Her son knows all about which Jedi uses which lightsaber, and that Adam West's Batman is the real Batman. I'm completing a bachelor's degree and have a job in my field and paid my own way, and my father said I'd regret not listening to him and just going straight to a job. Huh. I crashed my motorcycle with no protective gear on. I was stupid, I know, and when my head bounced off the pavement I only got a concussion and some broken bones road rash. Congrats on your anniversary. I had a very serious allergic reaction to a drug when I was 8. At that time, about 70% of the people with a reaction as severe as I had went blind. About 40% died. I'm still here and although my vision is really bad I can still see. Did something similar. Got married after only knowing each other for about 2 weeks. Celebrated our 14th anniversary this September. Bunch of folks had a poll going on how long the marriage would last. I think the longest bet was a year. Could have cleaned up on that if they'd let me bet. Sometimes I complain that I wasn't born super rich, but then I realized I was born in the US, in the richest state, to an upper middle class family. So comparatively I was born super rich. 25/M. Barely graduated high school. 1.1 GPA. No clear direction path in life post HS. Besides it tech stuff. Thank God I was focused on that. Met my sweetheart 6 months after graduating HS. Lived together for 2 years before marrying. Everyone said we wouldn't last. The usual family crap talking. Celebrating our 5-year wedding anniversary this December. She is 14 years older than me. My income makes me a member of the 1%. I still can't believe how my life has ended up. Till you can graduate HS with a 1.1 GPA. Seriously though, congrats. Not on the GPA, but the whole thing. That's cool. They told my mom she wouldn't be able to have any kids. She got pregnant, carried full term but the baby died during birth. She got pregnant again and the doctor told her the same thing was 99.9% likely to happen again, recommended abortion. But here I am, happy and healthy, 21 years later. She also had 2 more healthy babies. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.